Hey comrades, this is CS Jaeger. You're an awesome friend, and welcome to my playthrough of Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm planning on playing through many Mario and Zelda games for you to celebrate the 35th anniversary of those franchises, and Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of my favorites. I played through Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, a lot in my childhood, and that has made me pretty good at the game. You know, I'm not an expert, but pretty good. Now, I didn't know for the longest time about the flute skips until my friend Andrew showed me, and you know, that's made the game a lot easier for me. So today I'm planning on trying to, well, beat the game, but I'm going to use the first two flutes in World 1 in order to skip to World 8 and beat the game there. I'm hoping to do it without dying, but we'll just have to see. Oh, also, I'm playing on a Switch. I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch, and not on a SNES controller, which is where I'm best. So, you know, I'm not going to play perfectly, but we'll see if I can do this anyway. I'm playing on the Switch because that's what I can record on. I don't have the capability of recording on a Super Nintendo at the moment. If I did, though, I definitely would. I'd record some Star Fox 2. That game's pretty fun. That's one of my favorites, actually. I like to play it with my dad. Anyway, yeah. And I certainly do not know all of the secrets in Super Mario Bros. 3. However, I do know the flutes, at least the first three. I originally discovered a flute on my own by accident in World 2, the one where you break one of the trees, essentially part of the wall over there, in the upper right-hand corner of World 2, and yeah, it'll take you straight to a whistle. I thought it was really cool, but I had no idea about the others until I raced my friend Andrew trying to beat the game, and he showed me those tricks, and like, he was really good at the game too. He played it all for the Game Boy though. Alright, let's see if I can't get this next flute. I usually can get to like halfway through World 8, or maybe a third of the way through World 8 without dying, but I have not beaten it the whole way without dying yet. I have, however, beaten Super Mario World without dying. I think I'm slightly better at that game. I'm not really sure though. It might be slightly easier as well. I know that the Star World isn't too difficult to get to, but you do have to beat an entire world to get to it. So, I'll also be playing that game at some point. I'm going to be ordering, at least I think, I'm going to be ordering Super Mario 3D All-Stars and playing that for you guys when it comes out. It comes out this Friday, I'm super excited. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. And now we're to World 8. Now, one of the annoying things about trying to beat World 8 is the auto-scroll levels. Auto-scroll levels are pretty fun, but they do take a really long time, whereas normally I like to rush through the games. It also makes it very difficult to survive, because you're sat there having to wait out enemy attacks rather than just rushing past them, or even flying past them, since obviously I can't fly through the whole duration of this level. Anyway, yeah, cool stuff. And for those of you wondering, if you are wondering where my Terraria Hardcore series is, when 1.4 came out, I want to play it on the hardest difficulty on Master Mode, because I enjoy that most, but I cannot for the life of me beat any of the hard mode bosses in Master Mode, and if I can't beat the game in Master Mode, then there's no sense in trying to beat Hardcore Mode when I can't even beat the normal game. Like, I legitimately gathered... Oh, that's an odd frame drop. Haven't had that happen in the NES, in the Super Nintendo version. And I died. Okay, so we're not going to be doing this without dying. But we're still going to be doing this. It's one death. Let's see how few we can get. Anyway, yeah, Terraria Hardcore. I never was good at hardcore mode anyway, because I mostly played the game not worrying about dying, but instead just trying to, you know, play through and beat the game. I've only ever beaten it, like, 3 times, and, once was by myself. Well, actually, no, I never did finish beating it by myself the one time, but, I beat it once with my friend Andrew, once with my cousin Max, and then I think another time with my friend Andrew. I don't remember if we actually completed it or not. Oh. Okay. That was not good. I need to, get my act together here. I shouldn't have been hanging out right next to the edge of the screen. Anyway, at some point I may bring the Terraria Hardcore series back. I just have to get better at the game. And also, my computer has a hard time recording anything while playing it, especially Terraria or Minecraft. Is that the 3rd time I've died to that particular Monty Mole? Okay, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. No, that's a little bit petty. I was going to restart and start from the beginning, trying to... Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play through the beginning again and play this without dying. Because... how do I do this again? There we go. Because, yeah, I normally do not die that much. Yeah, Star Fox is also a pretty fun game. I'm not very good at that one. I definitely have... I've only beaten it like once, and I was better at it then, like a long time ago, than I am now. But, yeah, not very good at it. I die relatively often. If I played it more often, I'd get good at it. I really enjoy it, but I also don't play it because I choose other games over it, I guess. I don't know. I have beaten Donkey Kong Country before as well, which is something I have on the Super Nintendo. And that's one of my favorites too. Though it's actually one of my favorites because of the multiplayer. So, and yet, my brother doesn't really want to play the multiplayer with me that often, so I, you know, don't get to have a lot of fun with it. I also like to play, I have a Super Game Boy cartridge for the SNES, and that allows me to play Game Boy games, and I play Tetris on there. I also used to play Link's Awakening on there, but that cartridge stopped working. It stopped keeping saves, and so I took it apart and replaced the battery, but I didn't have the right battery, and so I put a bigger battery in there and it didn't work, and I accidentally broke the cartridge in trying to take it apart. So yeah, I don't have that one anymore. But I'll get another one at some point and play through it. Link's Awakening is definitely my favorite Zelda game. That and Breath of the Wild. But I've beaten that game many times, and actually I have Link's Awakening for the Switch. I don't remember if is it just called Link's Awakening? Yeah, it's just called Link's Awakening. No thanks. Turn softer. Oops. I switched A and B buttons on my console, and X and Y buttons, just for playing Super Mario Bros. 3. The reason is, on the Super Nintendo, Y and B are what I always use to jump, and yet on here, Y does not run, instead it jumps. And that's for Game Boy players who B was jump and A was run. But you know, did not mean to do that. They face opposite directions, like perpendicular to what B and Y face. And so they did that to accommodate, but I cannot stand holding the controller doing X and A as running. It's just, I don't know, it hurts my thumb. But Y and B is much better. So, and it seems like I'm getting used to the control scheme now, but that's why I keep making mistakes with accidentally pressing A when I'm supposed to, or yeah, accidentally pressing A when I mean to press B, and vice versa. And I'll switch it back for playing other games as well. For Mario games, for Mario games that I played on the Super Nintendo, I need to have it like this. Oh, and I did that using the button remapping option in settings. Unfortunately, it remaps the buttons for everywhere, but it's the only way I can find to change the controls for the what do you even call the I keep doing that. I'm not sure what you call the thing I'm playing on with Nintendo Switch Online, where it's a virtual console. I mean, I don't know that's called that, but that's a word for it. Anyway, it's the only way I can find to change the controls for the virtual console, NES or Super Nintendo. Speaking of which, I flip-flop back and forth between calling it a Super Nintendo and a SNES, which obviously stands for Super Nintendo Entertainment System, because it's the successor to Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh, and that was pretty terrible, but let's keep going. Hopefully I'm still able to do this without dying. Ooh, I could have easily missed that one. Is there a power-up? No, there's not. Okay, that's fine. We'll do fine. There we go. I always try and catch that box before it lands on the ground. It's just a fun little thing to do. I don't know why I used the invincible star there. I actually should have saved that for the cheap level later. I was just thinking it's kind of useless, so I might as well use it here, because that's my normal logic with it. But, yeah. In World 8, you can sometimes get the cheap level, which is like absolutely ridiculous, and I mean, my brother doesn't have any problem with it, but I utterly fail on that one. Also, I know it's technically possible to swim under all these ships, or at least I hear, but yeah, no, that's the cheap way out, not doing that. At least not today. Maybe next time if I feel like it. I actually learned about that from some article I read the other day. It was talking about different tricks you could do in this game. Most of them weren't really useful, or I already knew them, but that one was kind of interesting. Could potentially make this level a lot easier for me. Though usually it's not these levels I die on, usually it's the ones once you get into the third section of World 8, but which is the majority of World 8, but it's just the third area. And then, you know, sometimes the cheap level as well, because that level is cheap. Get it? I like puns. Puns are funny. A lot of my friends don't care for puns, but I like puns. And my family likes puns, which is probably where I get it from. Also, if you're wondering why I'm whispering, it's because I have to, you know, share a house with other people. And, Okay then. That's one death. Let's see here. Let's not do that this time. Oh, nearly just did it again. Let's see here. Hey. Mushroom. I also thought about doing a playthrough of this where I do where I get the least points possible or whatever, but obviously I'd have to speed up that video because you have to wait until the timer's at 10 seconds, or at 1 second, in order to only get 50 points from it. The minimum points is like 600 something, but yeah. It wouldn't be easy, and it wouldn't be... Oh. That, my friends, was Joy-Con drift, and that is a very unfortunate place for it to set me back to. But, yeah, I kept on moving after I, told it to stop moving. That's because both of my sets of Joy-Con have this on drift every once in a while. It's not constant, but just every once in a while it will decide to continue going in one direction or the other, and it'll do that for like an hour or so, like off and on, but relatively frequently for like an hour or so, and then it'll stop. It's pretty annoying, but and I have replaced the joysticks a few times, but I did it on, I bought really cheap joysticks off of eBay from China that took like 3 months to get here, and maybe not 3 months, probably like a month and a half, but they deteriorated over time more quickly than the original ones did. They were really cheap though. I literally paid like $3 for like 6 of them. Also, I'm not sure how that wrench did not hit me. Oh, it did, and I'm dead. This one's pretty hard. Again, don't normally die on this one, so, I don't know. I am slightly out of practice, and I am also recording, which takes some of my mental capacity. However, this is inexcusable to be funny. I must do better and regain my honor as a Mario warrior. Basically another way of saying this isn't even my final form, even though it kind of is. Oh. My bad. I attempted to jump there, clearly used it too late. What time are we at? And not too bad on time. Let's try one more time. Also, it's interesting, this version starts you out with 4 lives, but I believe the version on Super Mario All-Stars Super Mario World, which has like updated graphics and whatever, I think it actually gives you 5 1-ups to start with. You know, a nice even round number. I mean, not literally an even number, but a I don't know, a satisfying number. But yeah, as I said, and I did just chalk it up to being out of practice a minute ago, but it's actually probably mostly that I'm playing on a Joy-Con instead of on the Super Nintendo controller where I'm most comfortable. You know, slightly throws off my movements. Like that. I expected to continue crouching through that enemy, and then jump right as I passed that enemy, but instead I jumped while I was on the enemy. You know, just slightly different timings and controller responses and size of controllers and hand placement and feel. you know, makes a big difference. However, still inexcusable, and I must regain my honor as a Super Mario Bros. Warrior. Now we're giving it one more try, beating Super Mario Bros. 3 without dying, and then that'll have to be it for this video. Hopefully we do beat it. If we do, it should take about 20 more minutes. If we don't, it should take, I don't know, any amount of time before that. It is rather annoying when I go to this power-up, and I have a Tanuki suit, and I, without thinking about it, grab the power-up and, or technically raccoon suit, grab the power-up and replace my raccoon suit with, Fire Flower. I mean, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but it is slightly annoying that I do that. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm recording with a Roxio Game Capture HD, which, it can only record in 720p, not actually HD, but, that might actually count as HD and not SD, but it's not what you think of when, like, HD, you usually think of 1080p because HDMI standard is what I would assume most people think of when they think of HD. Also, if you notice on that world select screen there with the flute, there's a little tiny bit of land off to the left on the very edge of the screen, and I've always wondered what that's doing there. Like, normally in a game, I would think it would hint at there being another place that maybe if you use more flutes, you'd be able to get to it and unlock some secret world or secret set of levels, or even just skip straight to the castle. But obviously that's not the case, because I haven't seen anywhere online about, or at least it's not the case if no one has seen it online anywhere. If no one's seen it before or posted it, because, well, they would have found it by now. At least one would think. You know, I wonder what other flutes there are, because I know about those first 3 flutes, but I don't know about any others. And I imagine there are many more hidden throughout the world. I am curious what would happen if you collected all of the flutes and used them. I know if you collect 3, and you used 3 of them in that select world, you end up, or you use, 1 to get to the select world and 2 within the select world, you end up just back at where you get to with the first flute, which is unfortunate. It's also interesting that the World 2 flute takes you to, or at least using a flute in World 2, takes you to the part where you can select Worlds 4 and 5. I am curious what would happen if you used a flute from in World 8, but I never wanted to try it because then I'd lose my progress getting to World 8. I guess with having save states on this version of the game, I'd be able to test it without any repercussions, so I'll test that sometime, probably, if I remember. Hey, we should use our fireballs to do some damage, and to get rid of some of these pesky enemies. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of cannonballs, but, it's alright. Also, I know that crouching in games is often a form of taunt. However, I've always used it just to occupy time in games while I'm waiting something out. And, but it is funny when I use it when I'm like completely losing or, you know, shouldn't be taunting or whatever. And I use it anyway, like a taunt. Especially in Super Smash Bros. I find it funny. I'll just stand across on the other side of the stage if I happen to be there and my opponent's on the opposite side from me, and I just sit there crouching over and over again. I mean, you know, I don't do it that long, but I find things like that funny. I also find the YouTube comments funny with all their memes. I don't know any memes, I don't keep up with memes, except for the ones that happen in the YouTube comments, which I am told that they're often outdated, but I find them funny. Okay, in this case it may have been a disadvantage to have a mushroom, which is interesting, because I ended up breaking the block instead of, hitting the hammer bro, because I missed the hammer bro. Normally I'd get a second try before he drops down on me, but, though I guess, I mean, worst comes to worst, he hits me and then I hit him back, but, okay, good. I was thinking for a second this was the cheap one, but no, I think that's the either second or fourth one, I don't know. I forget that they're not actually randomized. It's just randomized which one you actually have to do. Or rather, whether you have to do each one. Apparently this time I have to do all three of them. That's alright. If I do die, it'll give me a spot. Oh, yep, this is it's the fifth one apparently. Cheap level. I think my oh, yep, just died. I think my brother just runs straight through that one, but... See, I was thinking I had a power-up on me, and so that's why I didn't use a power-up before going into that level. But, turns out I did not. Okay, that was not helpful. In the slightest. Also, if I hadn't gone for that power-up, I probably would have lived. But, you know. Well, that was very useful. I should just do that every time in the cheap level. I don't know that I had gotten the opportunity to do that before, and if I had, I hadn't thought of it, so that's nice. Okay. And I don't think there's a place where I can start flying here, nor would it necessarily be a good idea to start flying, because, well then, I can't really choose. If I fly too long, then I can't suddenly get back on land. I either happen to be on land, or I'm stuck above the air and I die. So yeah. By the way, if you're wondering, for controls, I hold the Y button with my thumb. Or no, yeah, I hold the Y button with the end of my thumb, and then while still holding the Y button, while still holding the Y button, I move the back of my, or like closer to the middle of my thumb down in order to jump. Okay, that was really unfortunate jumping. Oh, I forgot I wouldn't get an opportunity to press A going into that level. I was going to go over to it and then equip a power-up, but you know, oh well. Last chance. I can get through this level. And if I can, then I can move on to, you know, other levels that I'll die on, or potentially not die on. Full concentration mode here. And as soon as I say that, I die. Well, guess that's the end of it. That will be the end of this video here. If you enjoyed, well, thanks for watching, even if you didn't enjoy. And remember, always drive the speed limit.